Today we're going to be checking out Poland Explained. Hopefully this video just explains everything Polish to us.
Yeah, if you have a question, you're like, what is Poland? This is going to explain it.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Recently, it feels like everyone is talking about Poland.
We're talking about Poland?
Honestly, the crazy thing is, last night we actually had like a 12-hour discussion about Poland.
Exactly, and we didn't know. At the end we were like, somebody needs to explain Poland to us.
And we actually did this where we flipped through 2-second clips of news articles, stations saying Poland.
Poland was Poland.
It's safe to say that Poland is making some
Okay,
serious
Tucker
moves
Carlson
in the world.
apparently was
With a
talking about
stable,
Poland.
diverse economy, a new interesting aim and technology, and a serious investment in military power. Poland has gone from being a grey and poor place filled with war and invasion and being pretty much erased from maps to a nation that not only survived but thrived into a country others now look at with envy. But how did this happen? And most importantly, what do you even know about Poland? The time has come to explore the ins and outs of this nation. So this is Poland Explained.
Joe, is that cloudy or smoggy right there?
Yeah,
What's
I'm not
going
sure.
on?
Poland is located in the heart of Europe, neighboring 7 countries. Going clockwise from
A
the
lot of countries
northeast,
to neighbor.
there's the
Oh, it
Russian
is.
exclave of
Not that big
Kaliningrad,
of a
then
country.
Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, Slovakia, Czech Republic, and
Jeez.
Germany. With these countries, they share a total land border of 2,865 kilometers, the longest of which is with Czechia at 699 kilometers. Poland covers a
That's the
total
longest
area of
border.
roughly
I wouldn't have
at
expected that, I guess.
699 kilometers.
I would have thought it was Germany.
Poland
but
covers a
it's
total
not.
area of roughly 312 square kilometers, where about 8,000 of those are water areas with a total coastline of 440 kilometers. This put the country in the 71st spot in the world when looking at the country area. And to put that size in perspective, it's about twice the size of the US state of Georgia and slightly smaller than New Mexico. The terrain is mostly
New
flat,
Mexico,
with some
smaller.
mountains along the southern border against Slovakia. And this is also where we find the highest point of the nation, Ruzy, which stands
Wow,
at
look at
2,499 meters. The lowest point is on the complete opposite side near Razgi El Blaski, and is actually at a -2 meters.
-2.
The largest lake is Lake Snidarvi, while the largest body of water when looking at the full size is the lagoon that is shared with Germany. On the Polish side, it's called Zalew Szewiecki, while it's called Stettiner Haff on the German side. The longest river is Wisla with 1,213 kilometers and is shared with both Belarus and Ukraine.
Right down
About
the middle.
30% of the country is covered in forests and 48% of agricultural lands,
Whoa.
with some of the natural resources of Poland being just arable lands
a fabric.
and also coal, sulfur, natural gas, copper and silver. The climate of the nation is temperate with cold, moderately severe winters and mild summers, whereas in most places the weather can occasionally reach high temperatures in the summer and low ones in the winter. But when looking at
Okay.
the average temperatures, it's still considering mild and moderate.
Whiskey in the jar restaurant.
With steakhouse and whiskey jars.
The population is roughly 38 million people, which puts them
The same
at the
size as
39th
Canada?
spot in the world, just below Canada.
Oh.
And most of these people
Pretty
live
big.
in either the
Pretty big.
northern coastal area in the city of Gdansk, the southern part in the
Gdansk.
city of Krakow,
We've been
or in the
saying
city-
it right. Gdansk.
Gdansk. We went to Gdansk for like 12 hours.
So we have a YouTube video about it. You can check it out on our travel vlog channel. Link in the description. You'll have to go on our channel and click oldest videos. It's like our second video on that channel.
is in the central area such as Lodz and Warsaw. The last mentioned city is also the capital of the country and holds about 1.8 million people of the total population.
Interesting that
Capital
people
of the
get
country,
on and
and
off
holds
like
about
in the middle of the street.
Yeah, like the cars just like stop there. Like that's quite the. We got a bus behind a car that's getting loaded in, which seems like some sort of like taxi or
There's
something.
a bus on the train lane up here.
Yeah, and then the tram where people are just getting in the middle of the road, and then the crosswalk down here too, and there's a bus stop on both sides.
I'm surprised they cars can drive on this.
Yeah.
Whoa, interesting.
1.8 million people of the total population. The median age of this population is, like most European countries, kind of high, 41.9 years to be exact. And with that, they ranked at the 39th spot in the world. So clearly the majority of the population is in the age span between 15 and 64 years old. 14.53% is 14 or younger, while 20.6% is 65 years or older. Now, the population growth rate isn't something Poland does very well, as they have one of the lowest growth rates in the entire world. In 2023, this
not good
number
for
is
an emerging
estimated to be a
economy.
negative 0.28%, meaning the population actually shrinks instead of grows.
Ooh.
One reason for this might be the low birth rate of the country, which is just 8.31 births for every 1,000 population, or to simplify even further, 1.41 children born for every woman in the country.
That's under.
Not enough.
Another reason might be the high death rate of the country, which is 10.75 deaths per 1,000 population, the 27th highest in the world. Why that is, it's hard to say. Perhaps it's because the government focuses on other areas than health, as they spend roughly 6.5% of the country's GDP on health-related matters. Or perhaps it has something to do with the country's love for alcohol. A study from the World Health
Dang
Organization
alcohol.
found that the Polish
Or whiskey in a jar.
But don't Germans and Czech people love alcohol too?
Yeah.
You think theirs would be equally as high? I don't know if they are, but interesting.
people on average consume around 11 liters of pure alcohol per year,
Pure
which roughly
alcohol.
translates to 120 bottles of wine. Or maybe it's because of their tobacco usage. Even though they're
That
not by
probably
any
doesn't
means
help
the
either.
worst when it comes to this, 24% of the population still uses tobacco in some form.
24%?
One
That's
in
a
4
big
people.
number.
I wonder if that
Oh,
considers like
man.
total population then, because I mean they don't have as many young people in Poland, but that would like
That was
include
15% was under age.
that would cut out that. So like of the adults walking around, then like 30% of the adults would.
You would think they do it for smoking age, but then I guess kids
Yeah.
do smoke.
Yeah.
I do.
But it's most likely not an overweight issue, as this isn't a major concern in the nation, although it's also growing, as it does in many parts of the world. And considering all this, the Polish people
Dog.
still have a fairly decent life expectancy at 79 years, an age
Ah,
that puts them at
79.
the 67th spot in the world. When it comes to educating its population, Poland usually spends around 5% of its GDP on this matter. And since 2019, they've been closing in on this 5% again after a couple of years of spending closer to 4%. And the literacy rate is very high in the country, with 99.8% of the population being able to read and write.
That's good.
The
Yeah,
Republic of
that's
Poland
good.
is divided into 16 provinces. It sits in the UTC+1 time zone, the official language is Polish, and the national anthem is called Mazurek Dąbrowskiego. The chief of state is President Andrzej Duda, and he has been in that position since August 6, 2015, when he received 51.5% of the votes. He then got reelected.
So, I don't know when this video is from, but he's probably not still there because that would be 10 years. 1 year ago.
Well, what did it say it was? Is it a prime minister?
I'm not sure.
The chief of state is President
Chief of state.
Chief of
Andrzej Duda.
state. What does that mean?
I don't know. He's been in power for 10 years.
I thought
or
most-
whatever it is.
Most
power.
European countries have parliamentary
Yeah.
governments, so maybe it's something to do with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what Poland's is.
Duda, and he has been in that position since August 6, 2015, when he received 51.5% of the votes. He then got re-elected in 2020 with 51% of the votes. And the head of government is
re-elected.
Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki. The flag
How
of
long are the
Poland consists
terms?
of 2 stripes of red and white,
5
and their
years
national
each,
symbol
so there's
is a
probably an
white
election this year.
Yeah, it must be.
Can he get elected again?
Yeah, or is there a limit?
crowned eagle. The white on their flag is said to represent this eagle, while the red at the bottom is the field of the coat of arms. As mentioned at the start, Poland has a well-diversified economy that has proven to be a good concept for high growth, as it has been one of the most resilient economies in the European Union, even during tough times. And one of the key reasons to this almost constant growth is Poland's ability to figure out how to grow in various stages of their history. First of all, they managed to capitalize on the old communist legacy of industry, which they then used to attract investments from the West that helped them
Interesting.
scale up and increase the production of goods within the country borders. This later made it possible to join the global economy of imports and exports by sending that goods to other nations and taking a profit in
Pretty
return.
smart.
And now, most recently, they have shifted focus again into becoming a major player in the tech scene, something big tech is starting to notice. And as of 2022, companies like Google, Samsung, Facebook and Amazon all have established bases in Poland. When looking closer at actual numbers, and more specifically their purchasing power, Poland is ranked 19th in the world with roughly 1.6 trillion US dollars.
I'm surprised how close Iran is.
Yeah, that's interesting. This graph is very interesting. Seeing the total GDPs of like Egypt being up there too, and
Poland is ranked 19th in the world with roughly 1.6 trillion US dollars. And in GDP growth rate and GDP per capita, they sit around the 60th place in the world. And when looking at how much reserves of foreign exchange and gold Poland sits on, they're at the 21st spot in the world with a value of 166 billion US dollars. They have a labor force of about 18 million people, and yet one of the lowest unemployment rates in the world at just 2.6%. And the country has come a long way in the transition from the former Soviet era of industry work into a more service-based economy. And now, about 58% of the people work in the service industry. They export roughly 411 billion US dollars worth of goods each year and import goods worth 380 billion, being the 20th strongest country in both exports and imports in the world.
I wonder if that means Trump slapped a tariff on them based off their imports and exports to the U.S.
Well, the EU kind of bent the knee to Trump recently, so that probably didn't help Poland with the tariff stuff going in there, or whatever the heck happened. It just seemed like Europe did a lot of the things Trump wanted to do, the EU.
It'll take a while for like the effects to be noticed, I'm sure, but I wonder how that will affect Poland, as it's been like an economy that's been growing.
It is interesting. I mean, unless Trump 2028 happens, which you never know. A lot of the countries that are like agreeing to Trump's terms to get like the trade back and going, it's like an agreement like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. He's like, you have to invest $700 billion in the U.S. And it's like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll get it started. And then, Trump, he's like, yes, they agreed with me. They said I was right, so I like that. But they never actually like signed anything officially to where that has to start. So they could be like, okay, we're going to prepare for the next 3.5 years.
It's this weird thing where he just like kept saying that like, oh, we're gonna set this tariff, and then everyone was like, oh no, I don't want that, and then they agreed to lower it, but well, what's that even gonna mean?
It's most of this stuff that they agree to for these trade deals, especially the when they Trump's trying to force the EU to buy like American meat and American cars, even though European meat's obviously much better for health and their cars are better. None of that stuff's gonna go through. No way.
Their biggest partner in both imports and exports is Germany, which stands for about the fourth in both segments. So they're a strong economy and they continue to grow. But this hasn't always been the case, as Poland has been under heavy pressure throughout history and even got erased from the map for over 100 years. The terms Poland and Poles first appear in the late 10th century. Mieszko I is considered the first ruler of Poland, and he adopted Catholic Christianity as the state religion. In 1226, the Teutonic Knights were invited to help convert the pagan Prussians, but instead they established their own state in northern Poland.
It's intimidating.
An alliance formed between the Polish and the Lithuanians, and in the end, they defeated the Teutonic Knights. In 1569, Poland signed the Union of Lubin, together with the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, establishing the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, a major power in Europe. The Commonwealth had some internal problems, something that bordering countries took advantage of. And in 1772, the first of 3 partitions happened to the Commonwealth. The second happened in 1793, and the final in 1795. The lands and people that were once part of the Commonwealth were now ruled by Prussia, Russia, and Austria. And Poland as a country disappeared completely from the map and didn't come back until after the First World War. In 1918, November 11th, after more than a century of foreign rule, an independent Polish state was finally restored, and Józef Pilsudski is named the chief of state. In 1939, World War II began with Germany's invasion of Poland on September 1st, and the entire world knows what horrible things happened here. In 1945, the Second World War ended, and after being betrayed by their allies in the Jalta Conference, where the US and UK decided to split up Europe and leave Poland on the wrong side, Poland's borders shifted westwards and the country became a communist state under Soviet influence. In 1980, Gdansk shipyard strikes led to the formation of the Solidarity Labor Movement. In 1989, the signing of the Round Table Agreement resulted in the first free election in Poland since 1928, and communism began to collapse in Poland. In 1999, Poland joined NATO, and in 2004, Poland joined the European Union. Now,
Very
Poland is an
interesting
important
history.
member of both these organizations, much thanks to their geographic location on the edge of NATO's eastern flank. And the history of invasions of the country has clearly made the Polish heavily invested into securing its borders.
Makes sense.
And in the last couple of years, Poland has really started investing into its defense, with the estimated numbers coming from NATO showing Poland spending
Wow.
the most defense expenditures out of all NATO members.
Dang, the
And
jump
Poland
from
even said that they're going to
2014.
increase this number even further, spending upward of 5% of its total GDP on defense.
That's the same as their schooling.
Something tells me
Yeah.
that Poland just does everything
Guns
to be ready for
or
any.
books? Bum-ba-dum.
Books don't teach you how to kill. I don't know, maybe they do.
Depends on the book.
Yeah.
And to be able to hold their own ground no matter what the future looks like. With its history of invasion, oppression, and a whole lot of awful things, Poland prepares for the worst. Other countries that join NATO and the European Union, for example, I kind of get the feeling they probably think that the alliances will help them in a crisis, while Poland has a history of being let down by their allies when they needed them the most.
Would
they
you trust the U.S. to come save you? Let's be honest.
Right now, definitely not. But even with like other leaders, you know, it's one of those things where they're like, "Oh, please help us," and then once the help is done, it's like, "Thanks, goodbye."
As long as money can be made, they'll send some weapons. Be like, hey, here, buy some weapons from us. But I don't know if they can count on old Trumperoo.
Preparing to be alone again. All this history has really turned Poland and its people into true warriors, and that mindset in turn has led to a country that is booming even in hard times. It will be very interesting to follow this country in the future, and I will not be surprised if this will be one of, if not the strongest force in Europe in the future.
Oh.
Now, let's go and learn about a new
Interesting video. I feel like I don't know where this guy is from, somewhere in Europe, but it definitely had like an American centric way of talking about Poland, like where GDP and military are very important aspects to it.
Yeah, so we didn't get to learn like a lot about like the culture, food, travel, stuff like that, which is typically what we would focus on. But it's nice to see that the economy is doing well.
Didn't really talk about like their healthcare system and like how much money do they spend on healthcare, but not like how it works, what type it is, like stuff like that. It was very much about money and money coming in, and our GDP is going up, so that means our country's good, right, guys?
Even the history was more or less like a 30-second section of like going through the time periods and then onto the economy again.
And it's all about the economy, and you know, the more you learn about how GDP and stuff like that works, it's more like how are the richest people in the country doing, not really how are the normal people in the country doing.
We have the biggest say in this because we're from the U.S., the
Yes.
biggest economy in the world, and the average person is not living probably very well.
No, unfortunately not. But Poland, interesting. Let us know some more good videos to check out about Poland. And what do you think about this video? Let us know down in the comments below.
Let us know what other things we can check out, please.
See you in the next one. Bye.